surges of hope, from supporting refugees and welcoming African newcomers to championing education, healthcare, and sustainable development. We highlight the work that's changing lives. Every story matters, every action counts, and together we create a future of opportunity. Be part of the movement, listen, learn, and engage. This is Voice of Focus Canada, where every voice matters.
Good evening, and we're coming live from you from Edmonton, Alberta. We acknowledge Treaty 6. This is the traditional land of the Inuit and the Métis, and it's great to be here this evening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard, this is Focus, the voice of Focus Canada here in Edmonton, Alberta. My name is Uncle Tim. Everybody goes with Uncle Tim, so I will use the name Uncle Tim, and I hope you're going to enjoy this moment. Now, as I mentioned to you, as you've heard from us today, we are here to, every story in this world, my friends, every story in this world has a beginning. Now, Focus Canada, we are here to amplify those nice stories. No, everybody has a dream. I want to go to North America. I want to do this. I want to have those dreams. So every beginning has a story. And today, we are here to amplify those stories. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are joining for the first time, this is Focus Canada. We'll be doing this every week, every Wednesday from 5:30 today because of a lot of issues here and there. So next time we'll be on time. So what I will tell you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the moment. Mr. Badri, the one and only director we have here, Focus Canada. What do you have to say?
Thank you very much. This is a long time coming, and dream comes true. We have been working hard to make our voice heard. So before I go far, I would like to appreciate and thank the Canadian government and the SPCCI supporting Black Canadian Community Initiative,
Yes.
the grant that enabled us to have all these technologies. And thank you guys. This is really, I'm really speechless at when I see this kind of great team together.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having us here. And we really appreciate for opening doors for us. And this is how we do it. This is the beginning of the journey. This is part of it. I don't know. What do you say, mister?
Oh, it's exciting. I mean, Black History Month, we're here in Edmonton, February. We've got tons of support from the government, as Mr. Badri has mentioned. And we're just happy to hear the voices, hear different voices.
Yes.
Engage with the community on different levels. And yes, very excited for this season.
Now, before we continue, my friends who are watching live right now, I just want to tell you one story. And this is why we are here, man. And the story is how I end up here in this wonderful place, though the weather.
It's the best weather in the world, I tell you.
The weather
keeps you very productive.
The first time I saw snow was 2008 when I moved to Canada. That was my first time I saw the white world. Everywhere was white, and I was like, wow. Then I was excited. The first week, the first 2 days, I was very much excited. I really love it. Down the road, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. It was extremely. So where I come from, I'm from Africa.
But it's warmer when it snows, right? It's warmer when it snows. Is that right?
Well,
now that you have experience.
Now I have experience. I'm not scared. I'm prepared. But at the beginning, was a shock, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Coming here, and then everybody, you go outside there, nobody's outside. Me, I'm there, happy. In fact, taking the snow, there's trying to roll. Right. I don't know, how about you? How was it?
So my first snow experience was in 1997 in Boston.
Wow.
But I thought Boston was cold.
Yes.
Until I moved to Canada.
Yeah.
That's a different story. There's cold and there's cold.
Yes.
A winter jacket in Boston is a fall jacket in Edmonton.
You're right.
So that's different levels, Yeah. So Yeah, 1997.
How difficult was it for you at that time? Was it easy thing to migrate to Boston? What made you to move to Boston?
So coming from, I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya.
Yes.
My kindergarten teacher was actually an English woman. So we learned about Big Ben and London Bridge, and
Mhm.
we sang about Hudson Bay, and
Yes.
have you ever been to Quebec?
Uh-huh.
So from a young age, you wanna see these places that you're reading and hearing about. So
Okay.
after high school, I worked in the US at a
Mhm.
summer camp for a year,
Mhm.
1997,
Yeah.
and then came back for school in 1998.
Yeah.
Finished in 2001. So this is like this Canada story is Andrea 2.0 immigration.
Yeah.
So the first time I moved to America was more for curiosity.
Yeah.
Moved back and worked in Kenya.
So how long did it take you to go back to your motherland?
So between 97 and 2002, I went back almost every year.
Every year.
The first year was I was very homesick.
Okay.
I didn't know that
Of course.
I didn't know the sun sets at 2 p.m. That was a big culture shock.
Yeah, it was.
That was huge. Yeah.
Even me,
Yeah.
it wasn't easy, but I had to swallow the bullet.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
swallow the bullet and take a lot of painkillers
Yes.
just to make
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
real.
And I think the funny story is obviously moved to the States and then moved back to Kenya and then moved to Canada after a while. But the funny thing was waking up one morning and seeing the sun and then stepping out like you do back in Nairobi. When you see the sun, it's going to be a warm day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Hey.
that's not the case in
Yes, man.
North America. Yeah.
North America it's not easy. It's
Yeah,
not
I don't
easy.
know.
Mr.
Yeah.
Badri.
Yeah. I don't think I had ideas about snow when I was in Ethiopia.
Before you go there, Mr. Badri.
No, even in
What happened like from Ethiopia now to Canada? Was Canada, Edmonton, your first?
my first place was New Brunswick.
New Brunswick.
Yes,
Maritimes.
Maritimes.
Nice.
Okay.
but
Atlantic Canada.
like
No, I've never been to
I hear it's
New
amazing
Brunswick.
out
first thing I fled Ethiopia to Kenya. I lived 7 years in Nairobi,
Oh,
Mhm.
so that is where I learned.
Which
how,
years was this?
2020, 2000 to 2007.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad.
It was, but it was good.
Uh-huh.
It opened my eyes, especially to learn how host communities are so generous, so wonderful.
So when you took that plane
Yeah.
in Nairobi, so
Yeah,
you flew
To-
from Ethiopia to Nairobi.
To Nairobi.
Where was your first flight? Where was your first step? Like, did you took your flight from Ethiopia or Kenya?
No, from Kenya.
From Kenya.
So
From
Alice
Kenya.
to-
So-
From Moyale, Kenya to
Kenya.
to-
So while
to
you
Nairobi.
living,
Nairobi.
so
Nairobi.
already
Okay.
you are living in Kenya.
right.
So then now you hear like what happened? What happened
So,
for
like,
you to?
before I came here,
Yes.
I was working at Canadian High Commissioner in Nairobi,
Oh,
and I had a lot of Canadian friends
All
who were
right.
talking about this ice, snow, and all these.
Yeah.
So I didn't talk to anybody, but I was inside myself.
yes.
I was worried about. I was almost. I completed the process to come to Canada,
Okay.
and what wakes me up in the night was, may I die when I arrived there, because I had a sort of small, a kind of silly bronchitis, and
yes.
Yes.
I thought the cold would kill me. So
That's a valid point.
yeah, people have died.
Yeah.
Then I came
Wow.
here.
Yeah.
It's different.
It is different, especially after I came to Canada. The first few years was the time I was driving taxi and Uber and these kind of things, and I was in the snow day and the night, and
So
I
But-
loved it.
so when you took your flight from Nairobi, I
Yeah.
just want to understand here.
Right.
So when you took your flight from Nairobi, you landed to Quebec,
To Toronto.
to Toronto.
Yes.
Okay. Which month was this? Was it the week?
January
Was it-
January 31st.
My
January
goodness.
31st.
The deepest
The deepest time,
the
right?
deepest time.
Mama,
Yeah.
You didn't have an option to push it
No.
to the spring. I
Wow.
always tell people if you're
And
gonna
as
move,
you said,
yeah,
when like first.
So, did anybody prepared you the time when you're coming?
No,
So you just came. So you came with.
Came-
How were you dressed?
came with my wife and a daughter.
Yes.
I dressed like normally, just like we knew it was winter.
Yes.
The good thing when we came to Nairobi,
Hmm.
we came under the GAR, government assisted refugees.
Okay.
So
okay.
we
okay.
were
okay.
provided with the coats, with the
Jackets and everything,
jacket,
gloves,
everything, everything, like snow.
How old were your kids at that time?
5 months.
5 months.
Mm.
Wow.
And
So were they excited when I know they were excited because they were taking a long flight to here. How long was it?
the baby didn't know.
Yes.
5 years, 5 months. I said.
Oh, 5 months.
5
okay.
months.
Okay. Yeah.
She
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know
She
anything.
didn't know anything.
And the worst thing, when we just left airport to our hotel,
Yeah.
my wife dressed like African with the
With those
with the
special
normal
attire.
shoes,
Yeah,
with the normal
the
shoes,
special attire.
with the normal shoes.
Yes.
And you know, we're not accustomed to hold babies. Babies are always held by
But the
mom.
mother.
She held the baby,
Yes.
and there was black eyes. She flew like with the baby,
Mama.
and when I saw her, the baby was somewhere. She was somewhere,
Wow.
Wow.
and it was tough.
Black eyes. Is
Black
Yeah,
eyes.
the good
yes.
thing, like it was snowing heavily.
Heavily.
The baby was on the snow.
Oh.
Nothing. No one had.
White angels.
Yes.
It was on the white angel.
White angels.
White angels.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
So that was.
I don't have any good black eye stories.
Yeah.
No, man.
None at all.
Andre,
It was horrible.
Andre, you said you came
1997. So my story is a bit different. You know,
you came as a student.
I came as a student.
As a student, did you had relative in Boston?
I had a brother in Boston.
Uh-huh.
I had a lot of friends from high school in Boston.
So you left Kenya and go to Boston, right?
Yeah.
As a student.
As a student, yeah.
But were you prepared at that time?
Okay, so my first year was you finish high school and you have a gap year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the universities take a while to take people in anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything in 1997 apart from work at a summer camp in Western Massachusetts, just about 2 hours from Boston.
Okay.
And then went back to change my visa. I was on I think a J1 visa, and then I had to switch it to an F1 visa.
Mm-hmm.
And then finished school, got a job in DC after graduating.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Prime Minister of Kenya, former Prime Minister of Kenya, comes and speaks to.
So you started getting those dollars in early age.
This is 2002, and I wrote about it today. Actually, yesterday, this week. Elected. So 2002, we're in DC.
Yeah.
Prime Minister, he was then the leader of opposition, comes and tells, "Hey, you young people, you need to go back to Africa because we need you guys back to build a continent."
Mm-hmm.
So I took a flight
Back.
Back. With the words or just like
no, just patriotism. You know, it's a reset. Let's go do it. I remember having to watch a Super Bowl in Nairobi in 2003.
Yeah.
With a dial-up internet.
Okay.
And I questioned my life's choices. I was like, did I make the right choice moving back to Africa?
To Africa.
So the first immigration for me to the States was really to discover.
Just to discover the world and how it is and being in there.
Moving to Canada was more, economic, social, long-term, and very excited to be to talk about this as well. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, my story is absolutely different. Yeah. Me, I loved traveling all the time. I really, really liked discovering places, new places. So before I came to Canada, I had gone to Dubai. I lived in Dubai for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Right? And now Dubai is very hot.
Yeah,
like
summers is something else.
Summer there is something else.
Yes.
So like Alberta.
It's plus every
40.
40s and
Yes.
so that time I took a flight from Jomo Kenyatta Airport going to
That's
Dubai, Nairobi, right? Landed at around 2 a.m., right? Well, I have my bag there, and a young boy who wants to discover, by that time, I had some dollars with me.
Okay.
I carried some dollars with me. So I made sure I'm saying, because I don't know anybody. So I had a pocket. I had a special pants which has the pocket inside there.
Yeah,
So I put all my dollars in there.
Yeah,
nice.
Just I know I'm safe. If anybody comes and pick up my bag and go, I have the money. The money is there.
yeah.
The chums are there. So whatever they want to do.
2 a.m.
2 a.m., bro.
Yeah.
2 a.m. I've just landed at UAE, Dubai airport. Man, that place is huge.
Was it hot? How's the weather?
It was very hot. I'm coming there. So we are almost landing. The pilot is now, or the crews in the plane are telling us how the weather is, and you can see on the screen, right? Now, so to me, because I'm from Kenya, it's okay. Even if it's plus, minus, I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as I'm there. So I landed there, pick up my bag, my hand luggage, come downstairs to the luggage area there, pick up my bag. Now, Dubai, here I come. Well, Habibi, welcome to Dubai.
Welcome to Dubai.
Habibi,
welcome to Dubai. So I come and pick up my bag. Now the gate is open. Now I'm going out. I don't know anybody.
Wow.
I just.
Do you know where you go? Do you know where,
No. I just took a flight.
Yes.
I'm going to Dubai just to discover.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So I'm landing. I landed. That was 2002.
Yeah.
I landed there. The door are open. The big gate is open.
Yeah.
Man, I was the first person at the gate. At the group that was behind me, I was leading the group.
You're that eager.
I'm that eager. I couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Man, the doors opened, and that heat came whoop to me.
Yeah.
I just turned and told the guys, "Hey, there is fire outside."
And I think the common misconception is Africa is hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Addis in June, Nairobi in June.
Yes.
It's cold.
Addis is cold.
It's not
cold.
warm.
It's not. Yeah.
I think every time you meet people, sometimes they're like, "Oh, you're not used to this 45 degrees, 50." No.
Boy, I got the heat coming back.
Yeah.
So there was some people, security guys are there, and all that. I said, "Man, there is fire outside. We can't go." He says, "No, that's not fire.
That's not fire. This is natural.
That's the temperature here."
Temperature here.
Wow.
Oh boy. So I come out. Now I don't know where to go. Somebody comes to me, right? The taxi driver comes to me. He speaks Arabic.
You speak any Arabic?
No, that time I'm zero.
We know Swahili is.
But Swahili,
some Arabic.
it has Arabic on it, right?
You can pick up a few things.
Yeah. So now I want to go. I don't know where to go. So this guy comes and says, "Which hotel?" I don't know. So I said, "You know what? 1 minute. Somebody's coming to pick me." Then the guy went. And I see another guy moving around. He's talking to people here and there. I said, and he was a black guy. So identity. He was I assume he's from my area.
Continent.
My continent, right? I said, "Hey, man."
Or related to you.
Yes. So me, I have a habit.
We have another story of how I met Tim, but that's for another day.
Yes. But you know what? There is a way where when I see somebody for the first time, I use my language.
Yeah.
VP.
Yeah.
So if you respond, I know you know Swahili.
That's a good strategy.
Yes.
VP.
VP.
Yeah.
If you respond to that, I know you know my language.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, VP." The guy said, "Fiti, mambo."
Oh, nice.
So the conversation started. "Hey, where are you from?" The guy
Yeah.
says, "I'm from Tanzania."
Yeah.
His name, I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But I will remember.
And I think Tim has been doing
remember.
that consistently since 2002.
Yes.
Still does it. Even this
It
week.
works, man.
It works every time.
It works all the time.
Yeah.
It works. So I'm talking to this guy. So that is my friend. This story is the first beginning. And as we've said, FOCAS Canada gives you those stories at the beginning. We are here. The whole this story we're talking, we want to give you the beginning of everything for
Right.
our journey.
Yeah.
Those are our stories.
Yeah.
And these stories, they're gonna build one or another. The people they're scared of sharing their stories.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
remember, this is FOCAS Canada, and FOCAS Canada has those unique stories
Right.
that can build you,
Yeah.
that can motivate you, and you say you are not alone.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. I know there are a lot of things happening, but don't be shy. So, going back to my story for Canada, for Dubai, and the guy we started talking, and then say, "Man, I don't know where I'm going." And I have my ways to live here for
Yeah.
2 months
2 months.
because my visa says 2 months. So I have my own ways to live here 2 months.
Mm.
Can you help me out to find a place to stay? So the guy said, "You know what? I'm here looking for people like you and help them to give them a space
Yeah.
to stay.
Okay.
So if you don't mind,
Yeah.
you can come
Yeah.
and we can live together in my house. I
Yeah.
have lots of people. Are you from Kenya?" I said, "Yes, I'm
Yeah,
from Kenya."
yeah,
And then he says, "Okay." To me, I don't
It was-
care.
yeah.
Badri, I don't care. I said,
Yeah,
if you take my bag,
Right.
you have nothing.
Yeah.
Those are my
Yes,
clothes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
But my money, I know
And
where I
there,
have put it.
with-
Yes, right in the
So
pocket.
I said, "Okay."
You
if
die
don't-
with it.
Yes. So he says, "If you don't mind, just give me about 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah.
then I will come back. Just sit there, relax."
Mm.
I was like, "Wow, man!" But the heat.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the biggest culture shock.
That was the first number one culture shock.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, that was number two because the number one was the language.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
language barrier. The guy
Yeah, yeah.
came, the taxi guy came, he's
Yeah,
speaking Arabic. I don't know Arabic.
Right.
So I was like, "Okay, Tim, okay, welcome to Habibi. Welcome
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Dubai."
And what is the biggest culture shock for Canada for you? For you and Mr. Badry? What's the biggest culture shock?
Here in Canada, the biggest culture shock was I think is the weather.
The weather. Yeah.
The weather. The language is not that much, right? Because it's English, and it came from Kenya to here. I speak. We were colonized by British, so
Yeah.
English is
Yeah,
our
yeah,
language.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
our first. Some say it's a first language, but I will say English is in Kenya is my second language because my first language is Swahili, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, for
how
me,
about
the
your
cultural
culture
shock was just
Canadian culture shock.
Canadian culture shock. So when I came to New Brunswick, and those guys are very nice, always smiling, say hi to you on the road, and you just feel you are at home. But after 8 months, I moved to Alberta and start working in the warehouse. Is there where the cultural shock comes to, like the F word. I was working with like people
Yes.
who use people who use
F words, yeah.
weeds, and so
Yeah.
these are young guys.
Yeah.
I've never worked in labor job.
Yeah.
I was
First
high
time.
school teacher, then cultural expert, and so and so.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the pen.
Yeah. Writing
So
reports.
The guys of time.
yeah, the guy of time.
The guys of time.
The guys of time, and
Yeah.
they asking me to pick a big box, and it is
Yeah.
not my job.
so
It's
you're
not
not
my-
used to this.
every- then the F word comes
Oh,
100
mama,
times, 100
100
times.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
Did you have to
Fuck up, man,
Yes,
this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
this
you-
is the Canada? This is
Badri,
Canada?
Badri,
Yeah.
did you have to stretch your muscles
No, I
a bit?
can't because they are too big for
And
me.
then you're very.
Oh, no,
I can
I'm
imagine. I can imagine how
I just
tiny
go
he
to the
was.
corner. I go. No, like I see the speeds they are working.
Yeah.
All these are like maybe 100 times of my speed and my everything.
Yeah.
They are taking like weeds, all these. Oh, these are very tough for me. Everyone says F word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I talked to the manager. The manager also uses F word. Oh,
Yeah.
still it comes to me sometimes.
Big, big culture shock.
So when you went back home, did you have to practice the F word or did you stop it there? Right?
By the way, I went home back home after maybe 34 years,
Wow.
and I didn't have time to just do that. Like people see me like as someone came from death or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. No, I'm trying to think about my culture shock because I think the biggest culture shock was obviously I went to the US first
Yeah.
and then I moved to Canada
Yeah.
after leaving. So US, Kenya, and then Canada. So
Yes. Yes.
I think the shocker was the first time I came to Canada, 2011, just for a visit. Just came to visit,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was America,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't.
Was it?
It wasn't.
It was not. It was
Yeah.
not the US.
Yes.
You thought it is little America.
It is hard to explain to people. And I keep telling people, Canada and the US are very different.
Mm-hmm.
But the best context to give it is Canada is a European country in North America.
Yeah.
If you spend time in Europe, Canada is a European country in North America in terms of the philosophy, the ethos.
Mm-hmm.
Very different from the neighbors in the south. But yes, that was
So beautiful way of putting Canada. Canada is
my
Europe,
friend. Mm.
Europe of North America.
It is a
Yes.
it is a
Yes.
European nation in
Yes.
North America
Yes.
by
So-
every standard. Yeah.
So from US when you came to Canada, right? When you were in US and did you move straight to Edmonton or did you went to a different province?
So I lived in Ottawa. So Ottawa was my my home.
Landing.
That was my home.
Mhm.
I have family in Ottawa, but I have more family in Alberta. So
Okay.
I think on a weighing scale, I figured, and then Edmonton is nice. I told someone I moved here for the weather,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought it was funny, but the summers are not humid. You see the sun in the winter. The things you don't see much on the East Coast. I think those of you who've lived on the East side agree with that. Yeah.
So now, as we have mentioned to you, this is FOCAS Canada. And FOCAS Canada, it's where you can hear those nice stories, right?
Yeah.
As we have told you from Dubai here, everybody has his own stories. Now, and these stories, they are there to build you and me. These stories are there to give us the memories and keep on giving us where we are heading to, right? And because it's FOCAS Canada, our idea, our ideology here is to give hope
Hope for the communities.
hope
for
to the community.
Yes.
I have a funny culture shock story though.
Yes.
So my first time out of Africa, flying into Heathrow Airport from Nairobi,
Mhm.
I get to the airport and the faucets in the bathroom, they don't have handles,
Mhm.
so they're automatic.
Yeah.
We didn't have them in
Kenya.
Kenya then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I walk into the bathroom at Heathrow Airport, and no, I don't know what to do. So I do my business and I step out,
And
and the
watch
and the
until-
faucets, the taps have no handle. So how do you turn the water on?
yeah.
So I have a dilemma.
So you're there.
I'm there. I'm wondering, okay, so how does this turn on? How does this turn on? This
Yeah.
is 1997 April,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Even the best hotel in Kenya, Serena, you name it, didn't have
Automatic.
faucets. So
Yeah.
I just pretend to be tying my shoes, and then I just watch for the
What,
next person.
what next person is doing?
Yeah, so that was a big culture shock.
That was a
That
big
was
culture
huge.
Oh, that's big.
Wow,
That
beautiful.
was huge.
Yeah. There are many culture shock. Everybody has his own culture shock when he first landed to a new place, whether it's in Alberta, whether it's in New Brunswick, whether it's in Toronto, where it's in Canada or Dubai, anywhere, you have a story to tell.
Right.
And the best thing here, we want to share those stories. So if you have a story and you're watching us, go to that comment section. Say something. Say, hey, man, I have
Yes.
this story. I
Yes.
want to come and share with you. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. Our FOCAS Canada, our YouTube channel is open for everybody. And if you want be part of this journey here, you want to share your story because your story can build somebody.
Can encourage someone.
Can encourage
We want the
somebody.
funny stories.
If you have,
the not so funny stories.
Yes.
Every story.
Every story is any beginning. It has a story. We love those stories. And Focus Canada is here to build you up. This is where the beginning starts for your story.
Yep.
And we are here to share. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep on watching, keep on following us on our YouTube channel, Focus Canada. And we will be there every Saturday, every Wednesday. We are there from 5:30 to
6 o'clock.
to 6 o'clock, just half an hour.
Right.
But for now, we're going to have a break. Then we'll come back and continue with our stories. And I will leave this with my technician to give us something. Listen to this.
Every journey starts with a story, and at Voice of Focus Canada,
We
we
are.
amplify those stories. We share the struggles, triumphs, and newcomers as they build new lives in Canada. From community support to education, healthcare, and sustainable development, we stand for empowerment and transformation. Let's walk this journey together. One voice.
And we'll see you in a few minutes. Stop it.
Every journey starts with a story, and at Voice of Focus Canada,
It is
we
cut.
amplify stories. Share the struggles, triumphs, and dreams of refugees and African.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching us, they're following us on Focus Canada YouTube. That's our home channel. And now we are back for the second round. And now we are not going to be very long because, as we have mentioned to you, we are here to share our stories, our lovely stories, when we make that big, bold step, to come from your motherland and come to a new place where you've never been, right? And the good part of these stories is just to build ourselves. It's here when you take that bold step, means a lot to you, right? And that bold step can change and build somebody else who wants also to come over here. We had these dreams. Me, one thing I know is that when I came to Canada, I had this mindset that I see people, they come out, they go to Germany, Italy, and all the places, right? And then when they come back home, especially those beach boys, our place in Mombasa, we have those beaches, right? So people go there, they get these white ladies, they fly out, and then they come back home with money, dollars, So it really inspired me. I was like, oh man, if this guy can go, and those big boys, I'm sorry to say this, but some of them didn't pursue their education to the end, right?
Yeah.
So some are dropouts, but then they get these white people, they go out, they come back home with money,
Yeah.
the way they live, they have a good life, So you admire that such kind of things.
Yeah.
I was like, even me one day, I want to go there. I want to see, are they picking up money or what?
Is the money growing on trees?
Yeah. So that was the most. Everybody has that mentality.
Mhm.
Anybody coming out from those third world countries, coming here to North America, you think the money you pick it on the street, but that's not the case. How was your story?
I mean, Mr. Betty looks like he's been picking money off trees.
Or maybe Mr. Barry will tell us, because you came in and
Look,
Yeah.
sorry to say, like even within Africa, within East Africa,
yeah,
how different people come here are different.
yes.
Like in our case, as you know, Ethiopia has not peace for many years, and
Yes.
we've led our country because of persecution. And when we come usually to neighboring countries, we become under the pressure from the neighboring governments and sometimes UN and so.
Mhm.
So, like majority of us lose track of our dreams,
Mhm.
our
Absolutely.
early dreams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
we think is
Mm.
just, can one day we be in a peaceful country where
Absolutely.
we can get job? Like,
Yes.
as I told you,
Yes.
Kenyan people, I have never seen anywhere nicer people like Kenyans.
Oh, wow.
As
You mentioned that.
I'm not
Mr.
pretending.
Bedri.
I'm
Yeah.
not pretending.
Yeah.
You ask
I
anyone.
read a report.
But when it comes to the government,
Yes.
it was different,
Yeah.
especially during Moy and the early Kibaki year.
Yeah.
We cannot even walk to the store and come back safe.
Mm.
So we lived in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
And when we came here, majority of Ethiopians and my community, like a kind of sigh, like we relieved.
some relief.
And
relief.
Right.
we came again, we come with a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
So in refugee camps, like little is enough for existence. So when you come here, the little you get may just satisfy you.
Yeah.
And that is why you see people no dreaming, even majority of
Just
them
trying to survive.
pursuing
Still trying
their
to survive.
education.
Trying to survive. So just
So
know that
this is
beyond
something
thriving,
we are
yeah.
working on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like starting from Kenya,
Mm.
like majority of Africans, especially Nigerians, Kenyans,
Yeah.
these guys come to Canada as like under student visa,
Mm.
Yeah.
skilled manpower,
Yes.
and this kind of thing. They come with like their dream intact with the big dreams.
Big dreams, exactly.
And there is
Yeah.
difference.
Thanks for mentioning. I
Yes.
think I'll take some pride in my Kenyan heritage.
Yeah.
I read a report by the World Giving Index 2024.
Yeah.
So Indonesia is the second most
Yes.
most generous country in the world.
Yes.
And Kenya is the second most generous country in the world.
The
Yeah,
second
yeah,
most,
yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know that we're that
Mhm.
generous, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
here we Kenyan heritage, of course, Canadian. We call ourselves Canadians,
Yeah.
Kenya and Canada. So very proud of to hear stories from neighbors who've been hosted, and
Right.
Yeah.
that's good to hear. And Canada's also been a great country,
Great
Mhm.
country. Yeah.
very hospitable, very willing to take
To take everybody.
Yeah.
everybody
yes.
in. who-
Now
With a
see-
big heart.
With a big heart.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
um,
Yeah. As both of you saying about the first of all, I want to hit the table. He said Kenyans.
Yeah.
It's a very welcoming.
right.
I'm a proud
Yes.
Kenyan,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
will take that one. I say thank you so much.
Right.
Until we hear from people like you, that's when we realize that what is happening in Kenya or what is happening right now, it is not worrying you.
Yeah.
It's because of the involvement
Yeah.
of stuff, right? The change, right? But I am very happy to hear that Kenya is a welcoming place.
So we fight amongst each other, siblings.
Yes.
But with visitors, I think we're very
Right.
Yes.
That is what happens. Yeah, I know.
We'll fight. We'll fight
Good.
amongst each other, but
Good.
we welcome the visitors. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I
Yeah.
can talk the whole day about Kenyan generosity. It's
Yes.
not a matter of pretension.
How many years did you stay in Kenya?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
You stayed
I
in
worked
Kenya.
with Kenyan,
Yeah.
and
So
I know, like,
You just stayed in Nairobi.
in Nairobi, yeah.
Did you move to another part of Kenya?
SLO.
Isiolo?
like SLO for briefly.
Briefly.
But
Did you
my entire
happen to
time was-
visit in Mombasa?
no.
No. Okay. If you decided to go to Mombasa that time, it could have blown your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Mombasa people, I'm from Mombasa,
Right.
and I will blow the trumpet.
Yeah.
And it's not a joke.
Mm.
Mombasa people are so loving.
Right.
People used to say those are laid back people. Wajamaa
So it's a Kenyan coast. It's a Kenyan coast beach vibes.
jamaa wametuliza. In other language, jamaa wametuliza. I wanna speed.
Yeah.
When it comes in our language, we speak Swahili in Mombasa, and we love it. We love it very much.
So Mombasa is Montreal in the summer.
Montreal.
In the
Montreal in the summer.
Relax.
I think that's,
No rush.
No pressure.
Labor, no pressure.
Yeah.
Actually, in Mombasa, guys will wake up in the village. I'm from the village. So guys will wake up in the morning, and the one thing they will just sit down first, relax. No hurry. When you ask him, are you not working today? The guy will respond to you in Swahili. Wakati bado.
Do we get the same in Canada? Do we get the same laid back, or is it really scheduled? And
No. All right, it's okay. It's good. So, in Mombasa, thank you very much. So in Mombasa, when you compare the story of Mombasa and here, right? Here is not that.
we're
it's different.
a bit more
It's
scheduled. So that's a cultural.
Yeah.
I think
It's
more-
not the replica, anyways. It's not the copy, the exact copy, but similarity. Like they are similar.
and points to
Yeah.
the cultural difference. So
Yes,
when you
yes,
migrate,
yes, I know.
Yes.
I know.
you have a party.
Yeah.
It's scheduled. It's
Right.
1 p.m. to
Yes.
2 p.m. I tell a lot of my friends who were born and raised in Canada, in where I'm coming from. If I call you for a party, I will give you a time, and it's a proposal.
It's a proposal.
Yeah, if I tell you come at 2 p.m.,
It has to be 2 p.m.
it's not really 2 p.m.
Yes.
If you're back in Nairobi,
Yeah, I know.
it's 2 p.m. It's a suggestion.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting you anytime from 2,
Yeah, too. Yeah.
and there's no end time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what people do is you start the party when you know it's going to go on until
late.
whenever time,
Yeah.
and guests leave at their pleasure. Is that so? That's a big cultural.
But
difference in
when you
immigration, so-
come out, when you come from these other countries, right? For you to be in the system, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. Me, I used to go to work. I can go to work. I can decide to go. When I was in Kenya, I was working with my uncle, and my uncle was an architect. I was a draftsman at that time, right? So starting time is 8. You have to be there, but sometimes you go there 8:30. It's okay.
Yeah.
Here, that's not the case.
No,
You
that's
have to
not
be
the
there
case.
15 minutes
Yeah, earlier.
earlier. So it was a bit challenging at the beginning, but again, you get to
Get,
realize that time is money.
Yeah.
If you don't build the
Absolutely.
time,
Absolutely.
definitely you
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
make it,
Right.
right? And when you look at back home, when I say back home in Africa in general, whether you go to work at the same time, you get paid.
Yeah.
No matter what. What's your cut is if it's you've been given $20, it's $20. Here, you work by hours.
Yeah.
The time, the more time you put in the work that's what you get in your paycheck.
Yeah.
So those things build you as you go.
Yeah,
And these are some of these stories we are talking about.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I love it. I love it here.
Yeah.
Now it
I
has
know.
shaped me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get I go hard to my people,
Right.
especially for those who they're home. They think that we pick money on the street. But when you tell somebody that the difference, what can we say?
Currency.
The currency difference
Yeah.
is what betrays us. Somebody may ask for 5,000, right? In Africa, 5,000
It's about
here, it's about
$50.
$50.
Mhm.
So to you, it's like, okay, $50. It's okay. He wants 5,000. To you, it's a $50. The $50, even if you go out, you can spend it like in a
Right.
minute.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you give it to somebody,
Somebody.
it
back
was
home.
like back home and
Yeah.
like, wow, this guy has
Yes,
money. So
Yeah.
the more you give,
Yes.
you encourage them calling. Oh,
Right.
well, I was so they started calling you,
That's
but
true.
it's not that way easy.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that the perception has always been, if you once you get on a plane,
Yes.
you have
Right.
a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how your
I had
experience has been.
I had a friend who was working day and the night in US
Mhm.
before I came to Canada.
Mhm.
He told me if I was working in Ethiopia the way I'm working in Canada, in America,
In America.
I would have been richer. He said so. I would have been like much richer than what I am now, like what he was then.
Then, yes.
So so what they did, they put their people in work. They just like give them the job,
Mm-hmm.
keep them on job.
Mm-hmm.
Like the system keeps you on job.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
you
the
pay bill, so
productivity,
many
right,
things.
Right.
And so out of that, the turnout is very big.
Yes.
So the investment, the return on investment is so big.
It's so big. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And well, there are those who succeed when they come here.
Yes.
They find it. They appreciate coming here.
Yep.
And those people who come here and don't get what they were expecting.
Yeah.
Now, as we say, everything has a beginning. For you to have a good job, you must go to school.
Mhm.
And when we were growing up, people used to tell us education is the key.
Still is.
And that's if you have education and you can move here,
Still is.
you can enjoy the benefits of the land you are. But if you were lazy back then and you didn't go to school and you come here, you find things different, difficult. And our education, I will say that our education in the third country world, right, is much better than the education here. I don't know, because in there we don't major. Here people major in when it comes to
Right,
education.
right,
When we
right.
talk about education,
Yeah. We'll take next time.
next time we'll
Next
talk
time we
about
just-
it.
yeah.
We'll next
sure.
time we'll talk about education.
Yeah.
But for today, we just
Mhm.
wanted to hear the stories
Yeah,
of immigration,
Right.
how we moved here, what made us come here. And remember, it's Focus Canada. Focus Canada is your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be me, it can be you. And
You,
next time,
anybody can come
Oromo
in. Yeah.
people can come here. If
Yes.
we speak Swahili, you can come
Swahili.
here. We
Yeah.
can share these stories.
Right.
We want to hear. We want to build one
We have
another.
ample time for
Yes.
anybody who
Oh,
wants
God,
to
yeah.
like echo their community's need, community's
cool.
voice.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely. And
we welcome everybody.
and we're excited. Thanks
Yes.
for having
Yeah.
us.
Well,
Focus
thank you very
Canada has
much.
been-
Right.
Also, I know we are running up.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a big full stop
Yes.
for today.
Right.
And today is our first show, and we want to hear your feedback for those who are watching us online. Right? We want to hear. Put your comment there if you can.
Yeah.
Just put a comment there. And next time, tell us where you want us to improve. Well, what you want to hear from us.
Right.
We have people who speak English. There's some who speak French.
Yeah.
They are here.
Yeah.
We have people who speak Oromo. They're here.
Oromo,
Any
Swahili.
language you want to share,
Yeah.
you're more
Amharic.
than welcome.
Yeah.
And remember, this is Focus Canada, the voice of Focus Canada.
Yeah.
Today is our first show. We say thank you for watching and following us online. And if you have any comments, you can reach us out. And next time when we come back, we'll be more. We'll give you our details where you can follow us, what you can do, if you have any comment, any correction. And next week is going to be a different topic altogether.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
every Wednesday, 5:30 to
Yeah.
6, this is going to be your show, your podcast. You can listen, sit down, relax with your popcorn and hear our voice, our stories, and we build one another.
Yeah.
So I will say thank you very much, Mr. Barry, for
Thank you very
hosting
much.
us and
You're
for
welcome.
Thank
welcoming
you, Focus
us.
You're
Canada.
welcome. You're
Keep
welcome.
up the
brother.
great work. We're
Yeah.
excited and proud of what you're doing.
Now, all
the
of us, we're
community.
gonna say thank you
Thank
to
you.
our one and only technician we have
technician
here
we
in the
have here.
studio
Yeah.
with Mr. Eve. Thank you so much.
I think you forgot one thing.
Yes,
We also going to have like direct phone calls.
yes.
Yeah, we are
Very
we're
soon.
having- Yeah,
Very
very
soon.
We're
Very soon, we're gonna have our numbers open so you
Yes.
can call us forever
Dial
you
us in.
are,
Forever.
and then you
Yeah.
can also changia there.
We're going to have some upcoming artists in the community come
Yes,
and
yes.
come and do
Artists,
some
they will be
interludes.
coming
And
here.
yeah,
Majority,
excited.
yeah.
right.
So
Exciting
if
times.
you have anybody who is watching and he has something is banning you want to share out to the community, please
Come on.
feel free. Come
Yeah,
on. This
yeah.
is Focus Canada.
Yeah.
We'll give you today. We are not gonna give you much details where we are at because it was our first show. But next time we'll make sure all those details where you can follow us, where you can meet us anytime.
Multiple
you can come
handles.
Here. Yes, you can
Yeah.
come here and we can share those wonderful stories. Once again, I want to say thank you. On my
Thank you
side,
very
I don't know if you have fun.
No, thanks, Uncle Tim, Mr.
Thank
Badri.
you.
We appreciate your support. Even the technical team, appreciate you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you so
very
much, Mr.
Thank you.
Mr. Badri. And
you.
I hope we'll keep the fire
Yeah,
burning.
yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
At Voice of Focus Canada, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges of hope. From supporting refugees and welcoming African newcomers to championing education, healthcare, and sustainability.